coming back for your heart now. 'Cause this one ain't mine anymore. Will you wait by yourself, dressed like an angel in white on a wedding? Can you be like a drone, straight from a song that I've known all along?
Hi, I'm Elena Hopkins, today's host for Lowcountry Wedding Event. We want to welcome you. Lowcountry Wedding Event is a talk show and public information spot for weddings. Most of our guests will be wedding vendors, but I call them wedding specialists. We hope to help steer you in the right direction in planning your wedding day and making it more magical. You can find Lowcountry Wedding Event right here on our YouTube channel, #PEARLtvsc, so be sure to subscribe. Are you looking for something a little special and different at your wedding? Our next guest has something that you'll definitely want to hear about.
An angel in white on a wedding. Can you be like a drone, straight from a song that I've known all along? Coming back for your heart now. 'Cause this one ain't mine anymore.
Welcome back. Today, our first guest is Michelle Berta, master photographer and artiste with King Street Wedding Photo. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
So, how long have you been a professional wedding photographer, and why did you get into that?
About 26 years, back in LA. As soon as I got out of high school, I went to Los Angeles and started my photography career.
Very nice.
Yeah, and so gradually moved from LA to a little bit of New York, and then from New York down to Charleston.
The best place in the world, right?
Yes, absolutely. Love this city.
You're a master photographer. Can you tell us how you would describe your particular day?
You pretty much have to get your ducks in a row way before then. So your clients' first consultation is about booking your services and what you will offer. And then it's working with the coordinator and the clients to kind of plan out the day as far as how your photography schedule will go, make sure that the client's comfortable with it, and then building that wedding timeline and operating within that wedding timeline. In wedding days, there's always a buffer because a lot of things can go differently.
Is there a particular style that you would say your photography seems to lend to or kind of gear towards?
More of being a true professional photographer. So for me, it's I look at a lot of different websites and a lot of different photographers in town. For me, it's about really being a precise photographer. So blue skies, sunsets, great lighting techniques, instead of letting the camera do all the work for you. So that's what I do.
Very nice. What do you like most about doing wedding photography?
Oh, all of it. It's just the fact that you're blessed by God to have such an amazing artistic talent, and to have these clients trust you, which
That's
is
important.
huge. On a one-day occasion, and making sure that you compile everything and show and be a true storyteller, and basically give that client back what they expected, but always for me it's way more than that, which makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So about how many have you done, and what would you say is the most fun one you've ever done?
I've done over 550 of them. I've traveled to different destinations. So of course, destinations kind of gets, the leeway of being fun, because you've never been to some of these locations. So it's kind of exploring all of these different places and trying to figure out your lighting techniques and what you're going to come up with, the beautiful backgrounds that are there. It's a lot, but I'm a type A personality, so it's always like that. So I think, for me, the Bahamas were nice, but, Charleston plays a huge part in my heart in what I've done and the blessing that I've had to be able to do this.
What would you say it's like working with you?
Pretty easy. I'm like a fly on the wall. I don't really pay a lot of attention to anything but what I'm focused on. I do take charge at times if we're running behind, and the clients love that. Just to keep them within the perspective of, you got 11 bridesmaids, 10 groomsmen, however the whole scenario works out, making sure that family photos are done. I always, the technology is great, but I'm one of those old-fashioned kind of guys that brings actual family lists with me in my pockets. And I give one to the best man and one to the maid honor, and they're like, well, this guy's old technology, but you never know if technology goes out on you, if there's no Wi-Fi. So I have to always cross the T's and double dot the I's.
Well, and speaking of technology, what would you say is your turnaround time?
So for me, an average wedding, which is an 8-hour coverage, is probably anywhere from 30 to 40 hours of editing. So I usually tell my clients 4 to 6 weeks back. They have no problem with it. I rather work on the images, create what I need to, and then give it back as a true storytelling gallery. So that's how I work it.
Excellent. So as we're wrapping up, if you had to tell potential clients where they could see your work, where would be the best place for them to go to take a look?
I would just say go on my website and just do what you do with most. You're going to have many to choose from. Have an eye and look at your backgrounds, look at your lighting techniques, and pay strong knowledge to that. And obviously make sure that you're investing a lot of money, and make sure that you truly get what you invested your money in, so that there's I wish I would have scenario.
So in addition to that, is there anything else that you would tell them to take a look at in preparing for their wedding and the photography of their wedding?
No, I would just do due diligence. Yeah, definitely. And it's hard, when you have such a great variety out there, but if you have a great eye, which my clients do, and they can tell a difference between, a lot of different photographers in town on what they, and how they present their work.
You've earned many accolades and awards throughout your years. Can you tell us what you contribute that to?
I would say God that gave me the talent. I just, I'm not one of those flaunters. I've won these accolades. It doesn't really mean much to me. I am honored and humbled, but I'm more about, I'm just blessed. I just feel blessed all the time about doing this. It's a true passion. It's fun, it's great, and I love my clients.
Well, Michelle, I so appreciate you joining us today, and we're going to be putting up your information so that all of our viewers can take a look at it and reach out to Michael Berta. Thank you again for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Will you wait by yourself, dressed like an angel in white unaware? Can you be like a drone, straight from a song that I've known all along? Can you take the islands, just pulling apart the waves as I fall into your arms, tearing up roses as daylight approaches, just hoping to be what you want. Hold me up with your bare hand, like some pillar of God, on this road that you wander, burning like some bottle rocket. Let me fight for your honor, raise a wall for your truth, build it up like a fortress, wave the flag.
Welcome back. Our next guest that we have here today is Courtney Brown, and she is with Cigar Row Events. Hi, Courtney. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, can you tell us just a little bit about who is Cigar Roll Events?
Sure. So Cigar Row Events is a local cigar shop. We've got a shop in the Charleston City Market in the Great Hall, which is the inside portion of the Charleston City Market at 188 Meeting Street. We also have an online store and an online presence. We sell cigars and cigar accessories.
Oh, that's very nice. Very exciting. You have some great locations. So how did it become that two ladies started this?
It's actually a really interesting story. So both of them are retired educators in the Charleston Tri-County area. And when Holly Stilley is one of them, and when she started working for Cigar Row, which is another local business, she was doing hand rolling cigars at events and weddings and stuff. And then when Deidre got bored in her retirement as well, Holly said, hey, come on over and join me. And so they were both doing that for Cigar Row, and then the Cigar Row events side of the business came up for sale. And they thought, well, we're still bored in retirement. Why don't we buy a cigar business?
Oh, that is amazing. That is
Yes.
very cool.
And another interesting fact about the two of them is that they've been best friends since the 90s, grew up in this, or raised their children in the same neighborhood. And so they've been in each other's lives for a long time.
Oh, that's amazing. That is such a sweet story. So can you tell me a little bit about exactly what cigar rolling is?
Sure. So cigar rolling is the art of taking tobacco and tobacco leaf and turning it into a smokable cigar. And so it's what we do when we work events is it's a process of putting on the final wrap. And so the tobacco leaf is very, very fine. It has to be the right moisture level or it becomes very leathery. If it's too moisturized, it won't roll either. So it's a very, very fine craft of rolling that cigar. And then once you get the final wrap on, which we use Connecticut shade wrap, you then put on the cap and leaf and it's ready for drying.
Wow, that sounds like quite the process there. Very interesting. So how did you learn to roll cigars?
My mother taught me.
Really?
Yes, at my dining room table. I picked up a side job of being a cigar roller about 7 years ago. She taught me at my dining room table. And again, it's a special craft. You have to learn how to not tear the leaf and not to mess it up as you're trying to roll it. And so it probably took me over 100 cigars. And then my sister, I forgot to mention this earlier, is also one of the owners. She just recently bought into the business. And so she does cigar rolling for the company as well.
So this is turning into a family affair, it sounds like.
It is, yes.
Well, that's great. So are you hired for a lot of weddings and special events?
Yes, we do weddings, golf tournaments, corporate parties, private parties. We do at least over 100 events each year, but we are always looking to add more events to that. We do have a lot of cigar rollers on staff, and so we certainly can do as many events as we're asked to do.
And when you're doing those weddings, you get to interact with the guests quite a bit?
Yes, actually we show up with all of our equipment, and the cigar roller demonstrates the art of cigar rolling, speaks knowledgeably about cigars to the guests, and it's kind of an entertainment, actually.
Very nice. Do you have different types or different brands of cigars?
We do. So our signature blend is a Dominican tobacco wrapped in Connecticut shade leaf. We also have a Maduro cigar available, which is Nicaraguan tobacco.
Oh, very nice.
We also have our infused varieties, which that's something that Holly and Deidre kind of discovered as they were playing around. They started with going to breweries and working with the local brewers and infusing the cigars with that beer. And then they thought, well, if beer, why not bourbon? Why not rum? Why not moonshine? And so we sell a lot of different varieties as well.
Wow, sounds like we need to have a tasting event there. What are some of the unique gifts that you can do with cigar rolling?
We have a lot of humidor packages available, and we can customize the humidors with engraving. We also have, you can do customized cigar bands, customized cutters, so it really can become you can do very basic or you can do very customized to your special events, such as weddings. A lot of people like to do custom cigar bands for their weddings so that entertainment aspect becomes a memento.
Oh, very nice. And they usually are like on the tables where the cigar rollers are and things like that. Very good. How far in advance should someone reach out to you guys if they want you at a wedding?
Well, we can certainly honor last minute requests, but we prefer a couple months lead time. We work with a lot of local event planners. They do a wonderful job of giving us that lead time, especially if there are any customizations, then we certainly need a little bit of extra time, but we have so many cigar rollers on staff that we are able to accommodate last minute.
Well, it sounds like this is a great event to have at a wedding and at any other type of function as well. I really appreciate you coming on. This is, once again, Courtney Brown with Cigar Row Events. Your information is going to be up here, so please make sure you reach out. And I just really want to thank you once again for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great.
an angel in white on the way. Can you be like a drone straight from a song that I've known all along?
It's all about making your special day special. Coming up next, we have Pilar with the Metabolic Medical Center. Welcome back. Our next guest is Pilar with Metabolic Medical Center. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad you're here. Can you tell me exactly who is Metabolic Medical Center?
Yeah. Metabolic Medical Center has been around 27 plus years. We have a lot of tried and true programs. They were developed by a local endocrinologist, Douglas Jones. We incorporate a lot of things to help people lose weight, eat healthier, feel better. We use meal replacements, we use oral appetite suppressants, we use injections, we have B12 injections. We have a health coach on staff, we have a personal trainer. So whether people want to lose 5 pounds, whether they want to lose 100 pounds, or they just want to feel better about themselves, we have a lot of tools to help them reach their goals.
That is very comprehensive. How many locations do you have and where are they located?
Okay, around South Carolina right now we have 6 locations. We have one in Columbia, we have one in Irmo, we have Charleston, and we have Mount Pleasant. We also have one in Murrells Inlet and the Bluffton area.
Wow. That is very nice coverage over South Carolina.
For sure.
Do you often have brides coming in before their wedding?
We do. We often have brides. We often get mothers of the brides. They have a big event coming up. They want to feel better. They want to look better. They want to lose a few pounds to fit into that dress a little better. So they come to see us so we can devise something. Our plans are customized, so we want to help them get where they want to be.
So do you offer discounts that might include like the whole wedding party, not just the bride?
Yes. Our programs are customized. So depending on what you decide you want to do, we can save you up to 15%.
Well, that is fantastic. We're hearing a lot about semaglutide. Can you tell me exactly what that is?
Yes, that is a big popular word these days. Semaglutide is an FDA-approved medication for weight loss. It mimics a natural peptide in the body that suppresses appetite. So you find yourself getting full faster and eating less. It's been proved to be able to reduce your weight by like 12 to 15%. It's administered through injections. It's 4 weekly injections. You commit to a month, and then depending on where you stand, how you feel, you can repeat another month.
And so when you come to Metabolic Center for this, you're actually followed by a physician?
Yes. That's one thing that's different about our offices and other maybe weight management or weight loss practices is that our programs are physician-led. You're going to see a physician. You're also going to have the expertise of our health coaches, and they are great with accountability, keeping you on track, meal planning, maybe making a food diary, figuring out where those hidden calories are that you may be getting and not realizing and not knowing why you're stuck or why that weight isn't coming off. So you have all of that to work with when you do a program with us.
So one big thing that we notice is, besides the bride, of course, one of the next things is the father of the bride.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any programs for males?
Of course. All of our programs can be done by males. I would say a third of our business, of our patients, are males. So we definitely can help the groom, the groomsmen, and the father of the bride, get them feeling great, looking good, and so they can really enjoy that big day.
Oh, that's fantastic. So if a blushing bride were to come to you, say 6 months in advance of her wedding, would she and the family members be able to, lose the weight they want within that time frame?
Definitely. Our programs, everyone is going to be different, but we like to say you can lose 1 to 3 pounds a week. So if someone really had 6 months, they could lose 50 pounds easily.
Oh, wow, that is fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I also hear that you have a new podcast.
So yes, we have. It's called Metabolic Makeover. We have launched 2 episodes. It airs on Thursday nights. We have our doctors and our health coaches talking about tips to help you get where you want to be, busting those myths that you may have about weight loss. We're also going to have different guests coming to help you maybe learn how to cook or prepare meals better. So it's got a wealth of information.
Well, that sounds like a great thing to take part in and really reach out to. Well, once again, I'd like to thank you for joining us today. This is PLR with Metabolic Medical Center. Her information is going to be on the screen, so please reach out to her. And again, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me, and say I do to feeling great on your big day. We can help you here at Metabolic Medical Center.
Up next, we found that sweet spot for your special day. We have Rihanna Chandler with Sweet Ree Wedding Cakes and Desserts. Welcome back, and boy is it smelling good in here. Our next guest is Rihanna Chandler with Sweet Ree Wedding Cakes and Desserts. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Good. So can you give us a little history about you and about your business?
Yeah, definitely. I grew up in a small town outside of Western North Carolina in the mountains. My mom's family was Italian and my dad's family was Southern. So cooking and baking was kind of always the way of life. We're always in the kitchen, always preparing for some, family celebration. My grandfather was a baker on one side, and the other side was a farmer. So we're either, rolling meatballs, making bread, shelling beans. So it's just kind of the way I grew up. I decided to go to culinary school and kind of pursue that passion. And after I graduated, I moved out west for 12 years, where I kind of perfected my craft and worked under lots of different chefs. I was in Phoenix, Arizona. I worked for a large catering company and did fine dining there, and then moved to Colorado, to Telluride, Colorado, and worked for several chefs there, and kind of decided to branch out on my own, and that's kind of where Sweet Ree was born.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what are some of the specifics that you ask wedding parties, brides about, doing the event for them?
Yeah, well, I like to kind of get to know them. I'll ask them, where are you from? I like to kind of get the feel, the vibe, of the wedding. Is this a traditional wedding? Is it, black tie? Is this more casual? So, just to kind of get their vibe first, and then we'll go over colors. We'll obviously eat cake. Talk about the size of the cake, how many people it serves, the flavors, do they need a cake stand, are you having a cake topper, kind of, getting the wheels turning of things they might not think about, but should start thinking about. But yeah, we just kind of go over everything, the venue, the time, the planner, kind of thing.
Very nice. I know my daughter's was shocked because she wanted a dragon cake. So I totally know you have to get the vibe of what's going on.
Yeah, you're going to kind of get the feel of them and, what they're wanting.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you use all fresh ingredients in your cakes?
Yes, we do. We try to be as seasonal and local as possible. We love going to the U-Pick farms and, picking the fresh berries when we can, when they're in season, local honey, figs when they're in season. So yes, we try to as much as we can.
So as we're seeing more and more pictures, we see that there's a man in these photos.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about who that might be?
Yes, that's my husband, Chad. He is a chef also. He was working downtown in several restaurants until I have now recruited him full-time to help me since we're so busy. So he's a big part of our operation, and I'm thankful to have him.
Well, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
So how far in advance do customers need to get with you in ordering a cake?
Well, I would say at least 6 to 8 months, even a year. There's really not, the more time you can give us, the better, because we get booked up so quickly. And since Charleston is such a wedding destination, the sooner the better. We are a small team, so we can only take so many orders. Everything's baked fresh and in small batches. So the more notice, the better.
Do you also cater weddings?
So we have dabbled in catering weddings, especially since my husband's a chef, but it's kind of too much. We're just really focusing on the cakes and desserts right now. I feel like if you have one niche, something you're really good at, you should just kind of stick with that, and that's what we're focused on right now.
Excellent. And the smell of these cupcakes let me know that you are definitely good at that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Is it true that in your downtime you offer a private baking and decorating classes as well?
I do when I have downtime. It's not very often, but I do like to teach others, some tricks of the trade and, baking and decorating when I can. It's always something fun to do outside of the normal realm of things. So,
well, it's great
yes.
that you're willing to share your craft.
Of course, yes.
So my last question is there a signature cake that you seem to see pops up with weddings most often?
So I have lots of signature flavors. The strawberry cake I brought for y'all to try today is probably the most popular flavor. It is baked with fresh local strawberries with vanilla buttercream. Some other flavors are the lemon cake is popular, the classic, more traditional flavors. It just really depends on the client and what, their taste buds are and what they're looking for. So.
Excellent. Well, Brianna, I would love to thank you for being with us. Your information's up on the screen.
Thank you.
I think it's wonderful. It smells delicious in here, and I can't wait to take a bite of these. Thank you so much again for coming in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Lowcountry Wedding Event, and we hope that you'll continue to join us right here on our YouTube channel, #PEARLtvsc. If you haven't already, take a moment and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click the notification so you'll be alerted each time we upload a new show to our channel. I'm Elena Hopkins. See you on the next episode of Lowcountry Wedding Event.
You're the wind in my sails, you're the pull of the sea, you're the wish in the well, and my faithful belief. If the whole wide world was offered to me, still you'd be all I need. Oh, you'd be all